First, there was Nocturne Tone, a basic bare-bones map that didn't have much to it, but back in the day it was pretty neat. Then there was Verrückt, wiping the floor with Noct and improving on pretty much every aspect. But this was still the foundation-laying period of zombies. That wouldn't truly end until Ascension, so there was still some bricks to lay, and so the next installment of zombies was made, Shi No Numa. Set in a musky Japanese swamp, it was the first to include special zombies, wonder weapons. I know the ray gun existed, but the Wunderwaffe was the first real wonder weapon since it wasn't taken from the campaign. If you disagree, bite me. Randomized perk spawns, the OG crew, and was the true setting of the seeds for the vast, absolutely not confusing, completely understandable, totally didn't go batshit insane when we went to the moon or started crossing dimensions fighting evil Japanese tentacle rape monsters. Storyline. But does it hold up as fun and enjoyable? Well, let's find out. And hey, I got all the innovations out of the way before I started. I'm getting better.
We're here. This is the place.
Finally, I was getting tired of Takio's rambling.
Shut up, Nikolai, and get your gear on.
At this point, I don't know why I keep these introductions ambiguous. I'm probably just gonna make this obvious when I open my mouth, so I'm just gonna get this said right here and now. Shi No Numa is easily my favorite of the World at War maps. I'll even concede and say that Durice is objectively a better map. A more balanced map with better mechanics, but for some reason, I just like Shi No Numa more. For me, it is an absolute classic, and I mean classic with a capital K. That's my Mortal Kombat experiences bleeding over there. Can't even look at the word combat without thinking it looks wrong anymore unless it starts with a K. Every part of me wishes I was joking. I'd say it has something to do with how different the map is in comparison to the other World at War maps. I feel that Noct, Verrückt, and Durice each feel like a progression from one another despite being different locales. A bunker, an asylum, a factory. The locales still kind of feel of the same blood, if that makes sense. They have a bit more of an urban feel than one of nature. You're mostly inside buildings with very few outside sections. They all also take a lot of elements from MP maps. Mats. Yes, every single MP mat. Not the maps, mats. I can't fucking believe this. I'm about 30 videos in and I still can't fucking speak. The maps themselves take a lot of elements from MP maps, admittedly less as they went along. Shi No Numa, however, feels completely different, even being the map with the least amount of MP assets. Rather than being mainly an urban location, you're instead in a Japanese forest, starting in a building composed of wood and straw rather than concrete and stone. When you first step out into the outside after being confined to so many buildings, it genuinely feels like an absolute breath of fresh air. And you know, I know this is jumping ahead quite a bit, and I don't plan on covering Chronicles until much later, but just fucking look at this. It's absolutely beautiful. Conveying that feeling of freedom is the layout, which is significantly more open than past maps. To balance this, the open areas have a few water spots that slow you down when you walk through them, while also hiding zombie spawns, making it a rather risky choice to run through the water. Despite this, Shi No Numa is definitely an easier map than the past two. The map also follows a more non-linear structure. The initial building splays out into 4 separate sections of the map, allowing you to approach the map whatever way you want. These all end in a small hut containing 1 to 4 perks, each having a randomized location now. But of course, that ain't really why Shi No Numa is special to most people. No, not by a long shot. So, I might as well get into it. Shi No Numa introduced us to the OG crew, now known as the Ultimus crew. Silly name, so I think I'll just stick with OG crew. Tank Dempsey, played by Steve Bloom, and if Badass had a name, he would be it. Nikolai Belinsky, played by Fred Tatasciore? Tatasciore, yeah, we're going with that. Whose ability to lose wives is almost as impressive as his lack of liver failure. Dr. Edvard Richtofen, played by Nolan North, who will make you completely forget you're in love with an insane Nazi scientist who had a Hitler Youth line. And Takio Masaki, played by Tom Kane, who was the most honorable Japanese honor man who ever honored. These 4 became so beloved, and it's so ingrained with zombies that even though there have been so many other crews throughout the years, the OG crew and their rebooted counterparts are still the main characters, leading the storyline. Sure, they may be stereotypes, but it's really performances and endlessly quotable lines that make these guys so entertaining. And even though Takio did feel like a +1 back in the day, he was our +1, goddammit, even if we called him Tacos because we couldn't say his name. Don't worry, we all did it. The introduction of these characters was also the initial start of the zombie storyline. Sure, Noct and Verrückt came first, but I feel this is where the storyline truly started to begin. And if we could turn our attention to the hanging corpse, and yes, there was a Japanese suicide forest joke to be made here, but I'm better than that. You'll notice it's missing a hand. Where else is there a hand? Right under Verrückt power switch, and thus the murmurings of speculation had to begun. Were the maps connected? Did that hand belong to that man? Questions that slowly began to form into the spiraling mess you see before you, and if there is any indication things had just gotten out of hand, this neck-hurting mess was it. Of course, Shi No Numa also introduced the first special zombies, the Hellhounds, and to be honest, they weren't done the best here. I mean, sure, they still work the same in every single map. They are speedy bastards, but deal less damage to compensate. The problem is that when a dog round comes around in any zombies map, you don't feel dread. You feel elated because, oh boy, I'm gonna get a free round skip and max out. I feel the Hellhounds would have been better. And of course, who can forget the fantastic and wonderful weapon, the Wunderwaffe DG2. The first of many unique wonder weapons, again, bite me, the Wunderwaffe shoots out a powerful electric shot that, upon contact with a zombie, will insta-kill it. And should there be any nearby zombies, insta-kill up to 10. To counterbalance this incredibly overpowered ability, the ammo is rather low in the Wunderwaffe. But, slight problem. It didn't work. See, old zombie maps used to only have a limit of 24 zombies per round, and starting from the Reese, we have the system we have today, which carried over to the BO1 and BO3 versions of the World War maps. That's fuck up number 1. The dog rounds pop up every few rounds always, and never stop occurring. That's fuck up number 2. And lastly, you will always have enough ammo to survive to the next dog round, as long as you place each shot wisely, and kill the last few stragglers with another weapon. That is fuck up number 3. There's a reason the highest round reached in this map is round 9072. There's a joke to be made there, but again, I'm better than that, and also it's probably outdated. This can be seen as the biggest problem with Shi No Numa, since it completely fucks the balance, but to be fair, it needs a bit of luck and effort to achieve. Plus, this cannot be done in BO1 or BO3, but the Wunderwaffe is still great, so its use isn't diminished. With that in mind, let's mention the music before we wrap up. The one introduces the demonic voice that would become synonymous with Elena's songs and is my favorite of the original World of War Easter egg songs. With that said, Shi No Numa is my favorite of the World of War maps purely from how unique it is to everything that's come before and after in World of War. The OG crew are great as always, the wonder weapon is fun, if maybe a bit absolutely fucking knackered on this map, the non-linear gameplay keeps each playthrough fresh, the special rounds add a new layer to the zombies experience. Honestly, I just love this map, and at this point I've given up on the tier system and honestly just felt like I was rating the maps by putting them in a section called good, average, or bad, so I don't know, I might have a ranking at the end of them, I don't know, it depends on what future me decides. That's all for now. Tune in next time where I'll shut on BO4 again because this script was made before the release of Alpha Omega and Apocalypse C, and I was actually in a slightly good mood on BO4. Thought you were getting off scot-free this time, weren't you, you bastard?